It's been quite some time since we had a Chinese car in our long-term fleet. So when Haval offered us the H6 C for 12 months, we were more than happy to try it out. Ever since we tested it some time ago, we were very impressed with it. And driving it for the past 12 months has been our senior associate editor, Ian McLaren.
Well, first off, I don't think I've driven a long-term car where more people have asked me what it's like. I think there's a genuine intrigue around the Haval brand, and I think the H6 C is the first car that, because of its European styling, it draws people in because it looks so good. And then obviously there's behind the scenes, or deeper than that, there's a lot of value to be had. So I found myself answering what it's like a lot throughout the year, and my answer was always not bad at all. I think it's the best Chinese car that we've driven. I think the H2 isn't far behind, but I've really enjoyed my time with the H6 C. I think there's an
H6 C part of the car, so we noticed that there's no C badge.
Yeah, so this is an H6 C in our market, despite the fact that it doesn't have the letter C anywhere on the car, even on the key fob. So in our market, they still market an H6 model, which is a lot more affordable. It's a 1500 turbo petrol. But in markets like Australia, they don't have that model, and then this car becomes just the H6. Okay. So it's an interesting marketing tactic. I'm not sure if it's working for them.
All right. Seeing that this is a smaller SUV, there's a couple of things we want to talk about the boot, so let's head over there.
Yeah. No C badging anywhere, but plenty of Haval. You can't mistake the fact that it's Haval. In terms of packaging, luggage space isn't bad, but two bugbears. So the load height is quite high. So if you've got anything heavy, you just have to lift it over and into. And then the luggage shelf itself is actually positioned quite low within the boot. So if you have anything taller than that, you have to take the luggage shelf out, leave it behind, and then obviously you have some security issues.
I see so.
So there you go.
And it could be a bit higher, clearly.
Yeah, it could easily be higher. Usually you find it to the back of the backrest.
Alright, cool. Well, let's go and take a look at the rest of the interior.
Yep.
With Chinese cars in particular, where we always find the weakest point of it is in the interior quality and perceived quality and stuff like that. How has it been in the H6 C after 12 months?
Yeah, look, again, I think the H6 C has been one of the better Chinese, or one of the best Chinese cars that we've driven to date. The interior's been solid. I mean, there's a lot of hard plastics around, but everything fits nicely. There hasn't been any rattles. In terms of spec, the H6 C is nicely spec'd. It comes with sunroof. It comes with a nice interior lighting package. The only drawback in this model is the infotainment system is fairly basic. It doesn't have navigation. It doesn't have any option to sync your mobile phone. Again, I think the new model will address that. Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, I sit a little bit tall in it, but I've gotten used to that quite quickly. The rear packaging is really impressive. A lot of rear legroom. My kids with both their car seats have been really comfortable back there. So yeah, really impressive once again from Haval.
Well, it's a pretty straightforward SUV, but it does have a pretty big turbocharged engine, so I'm very keen to see what it's like to drive that. So let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So to be honest with you, the engine or the drivetrain has probably been the weakest part of this package to live with. Not that it isn't refined, and the double clutch box actually isn't bad, but what I found is the engine is quite peaky. So just the smallest of adjustments on the throttle pedal and it spools the turbo up quite quickly. So that's had a negative impact on the fuel consumption. So I've averaged 10.8, 11 on a bad day, so that's not great in terms of what the competition is bringing to the party. So the one thing I would mention is that it is a highly tunable engine. I mean, it's an engine that's been around for a long time. I think Mitsubishi even used it for things like a Lancer and things like that. So what I've found through research is that it's an engine that can be remapped, and I think just a subtle remapping just to make it a little bit more linear, the power delivery and not so peaky would probably have a very positive impact on the fuel consumption. But other than that, I mean, it's a really good cruiser. It's good around town, and obviously you adapt your driving style and you get used to it. But it is probably a black mark. Fuel consumption in this segment is going to be fairly high on the list of considerations, I would have thought.
Haval doesn't have a massive dealer network in South Africa, in Cape Town. So what was your service experience like?
So look, they are growing, and they're growing quite fast. And I was in Johannesburg a while ago, and I saw a good few Haval models running around. So that shows you that there's a lot of interest, and they've been doing relatively well in terms of sales. I think the dealer network will grow steadily. In Cape Town, I live in Somerset West, so there isn't a Haval dealership out there. So I just had to plan ahead a little bit. So I used the Plumstead branch of Thorpe Delta, and what it meant was I just had to drop the car off a day before, just so that it was ready for the morning. I wasn't offered a lift back, but that's understandable because it was the day before. Okay. So I think it's like all smaller brands. I think you just need to plan ahead, whereas a bigger brand would have a dealership within 20 k's of your home preferably, and offer you lift services and things like that.
So Ian, obviously a very big step for the Chinese car maker, but from what I can tell, there's still some way to go. So basically, anyone who is watching this video thinking about buying this car, what should they take away from your experience with it after 12 months?
Look, so as we mentioned, I think it's easily the best Chinese products that we've sampled to date. I think it looks really good. It turns head in the traffic, so I think you're going to get the looks wise. It's no longer obviously a Chinese car. There's some European inspiration in there. Nice refinement, a lot of value to be had for the price. You get a lot of standard specification. I think if you've got one of these now, or if you're looking to buy one of these now, what you can look forward to is the next generation, which will be I think a significant step up from an already impressive package. So what you would do then, I suppose, is stay within the Haval brand, which isn't a bad thing. I think the dealership network is going to grow. I think the quality is only going to get better. Hopefully the fuel consumption lowers. So if you start with this now and you look forward to the next generation and move up, I think you'll be quite happy.
Okay.